Om Shanti. This is Sakar Murli of 14th Feb 2023. Essence. Sweet children, wake up early in the morning and say to the Father, Good morning. Think about knowledge and the mercy of your happiness will then remain high. Question. What is accurate remembrance? What are the signs of it? Answer. Accurate remembrance is to remember the Father with great patience, maturity, and understanding. Those who have accurate remembrance receive more correct, and their burdens of sense continue to diseases. Such souls continue to become Satopradhan. Their lifespan increase and they also receive a such light from the Father. Om Shanti. The Father says, Sweet children, the same applies to you. That is, you souls are also embodiment of peace. The original religion of all of your souls is peace. You come here from the land of peace and then come into the talkie. You receive here from the land of peace and then come into the talkies. You receive those physical organs to play your parts. Souls do not become larger or smaller. It is bodies that become larger and smaller. The Father says, I am not a bodily being. I have to come to meet you, children, personally, face to face. For instance, children created by the Father could not say that they have come from the supreme abode, taken birth and have come to meet their mother and father. Even though a new soul enters someone else's body or older soul enters someone's body, it could not be said that soul has come to meet his mother and father. A soul automatically receives a mother and father. Here, this is something new. The Father says, I come from the supreme abode and I am now personally in front of your children. I give you children knowledge and once again become I am knowledgeful. I, the ocean of knowledge, come to teach you children Raj Yoga. It is only God who teaches Raj Yoga. This godly part is not that to the Krishna soul. Each one's part is his own, God's part his own. Only now do you understand how wonderful this drama has been created. If you just remember that this is the confluence age, it becomes form that you are going to go the golden age. You are now at the confluence age and you are going to the your form, and you therefore definitely have to become pure. You should have a lot of happiness internally. Oh, the Almighty Father says, Sweet children, remember me and you will become Satopradhan. You will become the masters of the world. The Father gives you children so much of love. It is not that He simply teaches you in the form of the teacher and then back to form. He is the Father and also the teacher. He also teaches you. He teaches you to the pilgrimage of remembrance. You should have a lot of love for the Father who purifies you, changes from the impure and make you to the masters of the world. When you wake up early in the morning, you should first of all say good morning to Shiv Baba. The more you remember him, the love, with the love, the happiness you have to remind. You children have to ask your hearts, how much do I remember the Almighty Father after wake up in the morning? People perform devotion in the morning. They perform worship with so much of love. But Baba knows that some children do not remember the Father from the deep within their hearts and that much of love. If you wake up early in the morning and says good morning to the Baba and true knowledge, the mercy to your happiness can rise. If you don't say good morning to the Father, how could the burden of sins to be remembered? The main thing is to have remembered. By doing this, you earn a very important income of the future. This income will be useful for you cycle after cycle. You have now remembrance with a lot of patience, maturity and understanding. In general terms, although you say that your remembrance father is a great deal, it requires efforts to have accurate remembrance. Those who have more remembrance of the father receives more current because remembrance beget remembrance. There is two things, yoga and knowledge. The subject of yoga is separate. It is a very important subject. It is by having the yoga with your souls become Satopradhan. Without having remembrance, it is impossible for you to become Satopradhan. If you remember the Father very well with a lot of love, you will automatically receive the current and become healthy. Your lifespan also increases by the current. When children remember the Father, He gives them to such light. The Father gives you children such a great treasure. Sweet children, remember family, and Shiv Baba is teaching you. Shiv Baba is purifier and also bestower of salvation. Salvation means He gives you children of the heaven. Baba is so sweet. He sits here and teaches you children with so much of love. The Father teaches us through Dada. Baba is sweet and gives us the knowledge. He doesn't give you any difficulty. He simply says, remember me and remember the cycle. Your hearts should become fixed with having remembrance of the Father. You should be harassed by the remembrance of only that only Father because you receive such a huge inheritance from the Father. Each of you should check yourself how much love do you have from the Father. To what extent I have to divine virtues in me. The children are now changing from the thrown into flowers. To the extent that you stay in yoga, you will accurately continue to become Sato Pradhan and the flowers from the throne. Once you have become the flowers, you will not be able to stay here, the garden of the flowers of the heaven. Those who change many thrones into the flowers are said to be true fragrant flowers. They never pick any wind. Anger is also a biggest throne. It causes sorrow to the many. You children have now stepped away from the world thrown into now the confluence age, just as a gardener of put flowers in separate pots. In the same way, the flowers of the confluence age pots have been placed separately. You flowers will be thrown go to the heaven, and iron age throne will be burnt. You sweetest children, know that you are receiving the imperishable inheritance from the Father and beyond. Those who are true children, who have full love for Bap Dada, will have a lot of happiness. We are becoming the masters of the world. Yes, it is with the efforts that you become a masters of the world, not just by saying it. Those who are special, believed children will always remember that they are the ones again establish those who say Sun and Moon dynasty kingdom of the angels. The Father says, sweet children, the more you benefit many others, the more you return you will receive. If you show the path of many others, you will receive the blessings from the many. You have to fill your aprons with the jewels of the knowledge and then donate them. The ocean of knowledge is giving to the platent full of the knowledge. Those who donate those jewels of loving by everyone, the children should have so much of happiness in themselves. Sensible children will say, we will climb the full inheritance. They cling to the Father completely. They have a lot of love of the Father because they know that they have found the Father who gives you life. He gives you such a blessings of the knowledge that you completely change from what you were. You become solvent from the insolvent. He fills you treasure, stores, and extent. To the extent that you remember the Father, He more love you pull that will be. When a needle off is clear, it is pulled by the magnet. The rust will continue to be removed by having the remembrance of the Father. Remember no one except the one Father, just as if wife has so much of love of her husband. So you two are the engaged. Does the happiness of being engaged ever become any less? Shiv Baba says, sweet children, you are engaged to me, not the Brahma. Once your engagement have become firm, you should be harassment by remembrance of him. The Father explains, sweet children, do not become the careless and make mistake. Be spinner of the discus of self-realization and become lighthouse. By becoming a spinner of the discus of self-realization, you will become very well practice it. It will be then be thrown. You have become an ocean of knowledge, just as students study and become teachers. So this is also your business. Make everyone into the spinner of the discussion of self-realization of only then will you become the kings and queens who are rulers of the globe. This is why Baba also asks you children, you are sitting here to spinner of the discussion of the self-realization. The Father is also the spinner of the discussion of the self-realization. The Father has come to you, children, sweet children, back to form. Without you, sweet children, even I feel restless. When the time comes, I get restless. I should now go. Children are calling out a lot and very unhappiness. Baba has Mercury. The mercy, you children now have to return home. Then from there you also going to land of happiness by yourself. I will not be your companion there. You souls will be back according to your own stage. You children should have the intoxication that you are studying in the spiritual university. We are golden students. We are studying in order of change from the human beings into deities, that is to become the masters of the world. Through this, we receive all the degrees of health, of education. We study this knowledge in order to reform your character. Health mystery, your food ministry and land ministry and building ministry are all included in this. You are also great treasurers. No one else can have the invaluable treasures that you have. You children should churn the ocean of knowledge in this way. You have spiritual intoxication. The Father sits here and explains to the sweetest children when you are giving a lecture or an explanation to children in the gathering. Then repeatedly says, consider yourself to the souls and remember the Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul. Only you have the remembrance, will have sins and absolved, you will become the pure. You have to remember this once again and again. However, you can also tell there's you have the yourself in the remembrance. Some children are very weak in this aspect. If you stay in remembrance, he thinks he explains to the others will then have an impact. You should not speak too much. If you explain even a little in a state of soul conscious, it our arrows will be straight and targeted. The father says, children, the past is the past. First of all, refine yourself. If you yourself is not having remembrance, you will continue to tell us to do this. These cheats cannot be continue internally. Your conscience will definitely beat you. If you are not don't have full of love of the Father, you don't follow Srimad. No one else can give you teachings that the unlimited Father gives. The Father says, sweet children, now forget this old world. At the end, you have to forget all these things. Your intellects will then to be connected to your land of peace and land of happiness. You have to go to the Fathers while remembering of the Father. Impure souls cannot back to others and come into the pure souls. Those bodies are made of the 5 elements. So the 5 elements pull you to stay here because it is as through you souls have taken that property, and this is why there is attachment of your bodies. 5 elements do not exist there in the golden age. Bodies are created with the power of yoga, and matter is the Sattva-pradhan, and this is why there is no pull and any sorrow. There are very refined things to understand. Here, the power of the 5 elements pulls souls, that there is why they don't have the heart of leaves their bodies. Otherwise, those should be have even great happiness. After becoming the pure, you will living your bodies just as a hair is pulled out the butter. So you have to finish your attachments of your bodies and everything else completely, as though you have to no connection with any one of these. Simply, I am now going to Baba. You have prepared your bags and baggages in advance to send this. They cannot go with you because souls have to return home and bodies have this head here. Baba has already given you a vision of the new bodies. You will receive palaces surrounded by with the diamonds and jewels. You should make so much of effort to go to such a land of happiness. You must even never become tired day and night. You have to earn a lot of income. This is why Baba says, children who are conqueror of sleep, constantly remember me alone with the churn of ocean of knowledge. By keeping the secrets of the drama in your intellects, you will become completely cool and serene. Maharati children will never fluctuate. If you remember Shiv Baba, he will look after you. You Father liberates you children from the sorrow and give you the donation of peace. You too have a given donation of the pieces. This unlimited peace of yourself, that is the power of yoga, will completely silence others. You will instantly know whether someone belongs to your form or not. You souls will quickly be pulled. This is our Baba. You also have to feel and bless. Stay in remembrance of the Father and then see whether that soul become to the your clan or not. If he does, the soul will become completely quiet. Only those who belong to the clan will experience the sweetness of their things. When you children remember the Father, He has love of you. He is the souls that there is love. You also know that only those who have done a lot of devotion with study of most, you will continue to see from their faces how much love they have to the Father. Souls see the Father, and Father are teaching us souls. The Father is also understands I am teaching such tiny souls points. As you progress further, your stages will become like that. You will understand that you are teaching your brothers, even though the face may not be of the sisters. Your visions should be go to the soul. It requires a lot of efforts for your vision not go to the body at all. Those are very refined things that study in very elevated. If you were to hide it, the side of the study could be very heavy. Acha, to the sweetest beloved, long lost and now found children, love, remembrance, and good morning, and the mother, the father, Bap Dada. The spiritual father says Namaste to the spiritual children. The spiritual children says Namaste to the spiritual father. Essence for Dharana. First point, let the past be the past, and first of all, refine yourself. Make efforts to be soul conscious. Do not speak too much. Second point, to fill the apron with the jewels of knowledge, donate them and become an instrument to benefit many others. Become beloved by all and stay in the limitless happiness. Blessings. May you be the Karma Yogi and stay safe from the dirty of Maya by living like a lotus on the field of action. A Karma Yogi is an another's words and lotus flower. To be a Karma Yogi means that both of your actions and your yoga are combined, and you don't experience many burdens from any act you are performing. Let no type of the dirty, that is, no vibrations of Maya touch you. Maya takes birth when a soul has some weaknesses, and the way of your finished weaknesses is listen to the daily Murli. This is powerful and nourishing fresh food. When you digest this food with churning power, you will stay safe from the Maya's dirt. Slogan: to use all your treasures in the worthwhile way is the key to the success of being a great donor. Om Shanti.